Here we go. This is what we're talking about. Now, this is something we can get our teeth into. This is an historic situation because we've probably got the heir apparent to being the best player in the world in between the dealings with the two greatest players of possibly all time, certainly the last 25 years, being wrapped around this entire situation. And we're going to unpack it on this video. This is what it's about, guys. These are the kind of transfers I want. Big players moving about, messes everywhere, power plays everywhere. Woo! Let's dive into it. Ronaldo, Mbappe. Ronaldo currently at Juventus, Mbappe currently at PSG. Here's the exciting thing. Both players have only got 12 months left on their contract. And with that in mind, of course, the clubs involved are trying to either get them down to sign a contract, in Mbappe's case with PSG, or sell them on now. Now, there's one key word that affects everything in this. Here's the question in the comments now. Before we start talking, pause this video. Tell me who you think has the power in this situation. The players or the clubs? Because I think this is such a cool one, because there's a lot of different clubs involved as well, and also Liverpool fans. I think there's an ingredient here as well that Liverpool fans need to be keeping an eye on, because I don't think it's dead for them. Mbappe and Man United fans actually as well. I think there's a real possibility, and it comes down to one word. There's a real possibility that Ronaldo and Mbappe could play in the Premier League this season. But more importantly for Liverpool fans and Man United fans might go, no, we need to move on from that. It's Ronaldo, guys. Trust me. It's very similar to the Charlie Austin situation. Sometimes you just got to take that goal scorer back and let him do what he does, score goals. The situation, as I said, 12 months left. And Real Madrid looking to put in a bid of 160 million. Where's that money come from, by the way? Where is that money come from? I thought they were on their knees, Real Madrid. Maybe something for another time. But Mbappe, strangely, here's the first question. If you're Mbappe, surely you want to play for PSG just for a season. You haven't won the Champions League yet. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to play with Lionel Messi. You're not going to get another go at that, and I think you regret that if you don't get to enjoy that opportunity. The problem then becomes that PSG are aware of this. PSG want Mbappe to sign. He's the long-term, marketable brand, best player in the world, Ballon d'Or winning, all that nonsense player that they're going to want to, reap the benefits of for the next 10 years. So they want to make sure he signs that contract, and that contract is apparently there with him, and he would be earning a hell of a lot of money through that. But Mbappe, for whatever reason, and I like this about him, he wants to go to Real Madrid. That's his dream, and it looks like Real Madrid are going to have a go for it. What feels strange, I think, generally, is that when someone's in the last year of their contract, you think, why would you offer that much money? It's because he's 24. It's because he's 24. And so the Ronaldo deal, which, of course, the Ronaldo deal happens if Mbappe goes to Real Madrid. If that happens, PSG have all of a sudden got some more money that they can use, and they can go and get Ronaldo. Buy him out of his contract, which looks like it's going to be about 24 million, something like that for the last season. You've got a club in Juventus who, I think, look, of course he brings so much quality to them. And he does, by the way. Goals after goals, seasons after season, despite his age. I don't really even want to talk about his age because I don't think it's not that important. It is important in terms of the initial fees, and it will be a cheaper deal for them. But Juventus, although Pavel Nedved has come out and said there's no way he's going, I don't buy it. I don't buy it at all, because if you can get someone to buy him firstly out of his contract and then maybe, I don't know, 90 million, I'm plucking that out of the air. I actually think you still do that with Ronaldo, especially if you're PSG, who money doesn't really mean anything to them. And you're already going to, if you're going to lose Mbappe, then you might as well utilise that opportunity that's there. Get Ronaldo, have Ronaldo and Messi playing with each other for 2 years, and it would be fascinating. That would be fascinating to watch. We've already gone down this road where PSG are this, ridiculous Galactico club. So, I guess we might as well continue down that road. And at the very least, it's easier to stomach for other football fans because the kind of distribution of people in their peak, at least, is kind of moved on a little bit to someone like Real Madrid. And for PSG, you know it's something that's 2 years, 3 years, tops maybe. And it would just, you know, there's a sort of fetish of the idea of Ronaldo and Messi playing together that would be fascinating. Although I don't know I don't think this will be a pressing team if that happens. So Ronaldo's got that 12 months left as well. Juve, they're claiming that there's no way he's leaving, but I think that's all a bit of a ruse because they need to wait and see and they need to project strength. And this is where I come back to as well. Where does the power lie in this? Because the strength that PSG have in this and the weakness is that there is a very clear deadline. Of course, there's a transfer deadline, but more than anything, what happens the day after that is that the focus moves to something else. And I wonder if you can guess the word, because I think this word brings in a lot. It brings in Man United. It brings in Liverpool if you want to, especially when we talk about Mbappe. The word is, here we go, starts with a J. It's not James Alcott. January. Because PSG will have to be thinking about January. Because once January happens, they're in the last 6 months of their contract. And Mbappe, who wants the best wages, and his client wants the best wages possible for him as well, right? He can talk to Liverpool, who deep down, and Liverpool fans, maybe you think this. Maybe, we don't know this, but maybe, according to some of the reports that we've seen, Mbappe really likes Liverpool. He likes the idea of him. I think he likes the idea of Jurgen Klopp. Who wouldn't? It would fit his style of play quite well, you know, this hectic style of play. But the problem with Liverpool is that they don't have the cash. They haven't got the cash to pay 160 million and then pay for his wages. But what Liverpool might be able to do is pay the wages. And so for Mbappe, he might be looking at Real Madrid and thinking, there's a real rebuild here that needs to happen. I don't really want that. I want to play in the Premier League. And I want to play for Liverpool. And if he does, then maybe that puts Liverpool in with a possibility of capturing him, because it becomes about the wages, not about the transfer fee. And the same goes for Ronaldo, because if you get to January, the same thing goes for him. So this idea that everyone's kind of being strong at the moment, this is going to crumble really nicely, because the thing that PSG will do is either you go to Real Madrid now because we want this 160 million, or you sign a contract today. So there's strength there as well, you know, for PSG. Because the one thing that PSG can't allow is it to get to the day after transfer deadline day and Mbappe going, oh, yeah, no, don't worry, I'll sign a contract. Because of that word, January. If it gets to January, he can sign for whoever he wants for nothing. Same goes for Ronaldo. Because Ronaldo, PSG, of course, would want him, right? But once you get to January again, then he can talk to whoever he wants. And I think that becomes a lot more appetizing. You probably can't see this. For Man United. Because he can afford the wages. You know you could get a couple of years left. Cavani is obviously getting older. The marketability of Ronaldo, the goal-scoring prowess of Ronaldo. You know, for those of you watching the Southampton game, I think you saw that you were missing that number 9. And so he would be a massive asset to them. So I think that has to be going under the radar somewhat. Because, okay, you're bringing all these young players, and that's fine, but you always need a balance. And Ronaldo, you know how marketable he is. You know the money he brings. You know the Instagram followers he brings. So if it gets to January, they're in a very, very scary position. So that's why I come back to this question. Who has the power here? Because I guess Ronaldo's probably got some nice, juicy power. Because I think with Ronaldo, I think everyone knows that it's over, right? Like, he's not going to be there past this season. So I think Juventus will take whatever is available to them if they can get a transfer fee and someone to buy out the contract. The Mbappe one is really interesting because on a personal level, I think Mbappe probably wants to play with Messi, doesn't he, for a season? If you ask Mbappe, Mbappe would do this. And I think we would all do this. We would go, I'm going to play this season and then I'm going to go wherever I want for silly money. But that's, again, where it is such a fascinating one because PSG will go, well, no. And Real Madrid, really, really cheeky because 160 million for Mbappe, a 24-year-old Mbappe, long-term is still cheap. It is still cheap. If you get 10 years out of Mbappe, you know, say you were able to have Ronaldo for 10 years, would you have paid 160 million for him, 10 years ago? Of course you would. Of course you would, right? So for Real Madrid, although, again, where is this money coming from? It's a clever little bid. It's a cheeky, clever little bid. And it forces the hand of kind of everyone involved. So it's clever from Real Madrid. I mean, it's outrageous at the same time for a club that desperately needs a Super League. I mean, what are they going to do if they don't have the Super League? Still going to somehow be able to put forward 160 million. It's outrageous. But who's got the power? Can Mbappe ultimately just say, no, I don't want to go to Real Madrid? Or does he deep down want to go to Real Madrid? Or does he want to go elsewhere? Maybe the power is with the player here, with Mbappe, because you can't make him sign, and I can't see them freezing him out. You just wouldn't, would you? Because that's ballsy, and counterproductive. Because if you're going to freeze him out for the season, it's just he's too good. It's fascinating, guys. I'm intrigued to see how this one plays out. Guys, let me know what you think about Ronaldo, Mbappe, getting to January, getting it sorted in the next few days. The fact of Ronaldo and Messi playing together, does that even work? And can it work with Neymar in there as well? I'd quite like to see it. I'd quite like to see it. We're in this bizarre mess now. Let's, maybe we just go the whole hog with it and understand that this is a 2-year thing. Madness. Let me know what you think down below. Hit the like button if you've enjoyed this video. Subscribe to the channel. I think we're nearly at 133k. So it would be wonderful if you would get me over the line. So hit that subscribe button and the notification bell as well. And I'll speak to you guys soon.